and this is how they're made. Sedimentary, metamorphic, igneous.
Our question for investigation is, can we tell the difference between the processes that shape different rocks by looking at them? What are the common rock types found in Pennsylvania and why? Our claims are, by looking at the rocks, we can identify specific properties or characteristics that tell us what type of rock it is. These characteristics include color, texture, jaggedness, hardness, layering, etc. There are three main types of rocks found in Pennsylvania: igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. Sedimentary rocks are the most common type of rock found at the surface in Pennsylvania. Formed by either individual grains that have eroded from older rocks and have been transported by water or wind, or by the precipitation of dissolved minerals from water or organic sediments. The most common types of sedimentary rocks are limestone, shale, and sandstone. Limestone is a sedimentary rock composed of calcium and carbonate. Its most obvious defining characteristic is that it reacts vigorously to dilute hydrochloric acid. Limestone is generally gray, tan, or white in color, although they can be dark gray or black. Grain size ranges from small, visible crystals to grains that are too small to see individually. Limestone may contain fragments of fossil shells. Shale is a finely layered sedimentary rock similar in grain size to claystone, but that breaks out into thin sheets or plates parallel to its layers. Shale is found in many shades of gray, black, red, and green. Sandstone is a sedimentary rock in which more than 50% of its particles are sand-sized. It looks like sand held together by cement. Sandstone can be found in a variety of shades of white, red, green, or gray. Metamorphic rocks are those formed by changing igneous, sedimentary, or other metamorphic rocks by heat and/or pressure. The heat and pressure cause changes in the rock's appearance, as well as rearranging the minerals in the rocks. Common types found in Pennsylvania are slate and marble. Marble is a metamorphic form of limestone. Marble is composed of large crystals of calcite or dolomite that sparkle when light reflects off of their flat surfaces. In Pennsylvania, marble is white or very light gray and generally contains flakes of golden brown or white mica. It reacts to dilute hydrochloric acid. Marble can be scratched by a knife. Slate is a very fine-grained layered metamorphic rock that splits into thin sheets. The grains are too small to be seen individually, giving the rock a smooth appearance. Surfaces are dull and tend to be absolutely flat. The most common colors are black and shades of gray. Slate is used for roofing and pavers. Slate rocks are good for skipping across the pond on a calm summer day. Igneous rocks are formed by the cooling of molten material, either lava above ground or magma underground. Pennsylvania has had a variety of igneous rocks. However, most of these have undergone metamorphism. Crystalline rocks are igneous and metamorphic. Rocks undergo a breakdown of soils and minerals as well as artificial materials through contact with the Earth's atmosphere. This process is called weathering. There are many types of weathering in which affect the rock formation and rock changes here in Pennsylvania. They are chemical weathering, crystallization weathering, and salt weathering. Chemical weathering. Chemical reactions break down the bonds holding the rocks together, causing them to fall apart, forming smaller and smaller pieces. Chemical weathering is much more common in locations where there is a lot of water. This is because water is important to many of the chemical reactions that can take place. Warmer temperatures are also more friendly to chemical weathering. The most common types of chemical weathering are oxidation, hydrolysis, and carbonation. Crystallization weathering is when chemicals in a rock become solids which form crystals. This changes the rock's size, making it bigger and putting stress on the surrounding rock structure. This leads to rock breaking off over periods of time. An example of this would be freeze-thaw weathering, mainly happening in porous rock. Salt weathering is another type of weathering that affects us here in Pennsylvania, but is more likely in hot, dry regions. Salt crystals form when water evaporates. The volume change when salt crystals form is smaller than that of water, but still large enough to put high amounts of pressure on surrounding rocks. Abrasion, unloading, and slaking are three processes that may affect a rock's weathering pattern. Abrasion occurs when rocks are worn away at their surface by repeated physical contact with another hard surface. Unloading is most common in igneous rocks formed beneath the Earth's surface in conditions of high pressure. As these rocks are pushed towards the surface by tectonic activity and erosion, the pressure gradually decreases. Slaking occurs as a result of the alternate wetting and drying of a rock. This pattern can lead to the gradual accumulation of a layer of water molecules between rock grains.
Some common misconceptions that children have about rocks are: children recognize rocks by their weight, hardness, color, and texture. Children often apply the word rock to mineral. They don't actually think about rocks outside necessarily, but rather minerals such as amethyst, jade, pumice, etc. Children often classify rock specimens as crystal rocks or normal rocks. The word crystal is used to describe both rock and mineral specimens only if the crystals are attractive in their appearance. When asked about the processes of each type of rock, children are confused about the formation and jump right to how the rock looks when classifying its type. These are important to keep in mind when teaching our unit because we want to focus on what they think as opposed to the truth. This could be done using a clue chart.
Metamorphic, igneous, or sedimentary. We are all solid members of the rock family.
The end. This movie was brought to you by Rebecca and Eliza. We hope you liked it.